welcome to my dorm room. Welcome to this show, everyone. My name is Pierce. I also go by Ekpap on the internet. I make art videos and field notes videos, but today I'm doing an art video because that's what I enjoy making the most. The reason there hasn't been videos for 2 weeks is because I had my RA training and I had to do that, but now it's over and I'm welcoming all my new residents to my dorm hall, and my plants are kind of just chilling here now in the smoke. That's right. The sky's no longer blue, it's gray and kind of red, if you can observe. And today, we're going to be doing some acrylic painting practice. I'm going to be doing my acrylic painting palettes on these little tiny palette things that are brown. Not the ideal color for a palette, I know, but I'm practicing so I can paint acrylic eventually on that canvas over there. I'm going to be doing a landscape, so today we're going to be working on trees, mountains, hills, and the overall quality of light and the way you make light. I haven't really worked on that in a while, but it'll work, I think. Let's do it. Alright, so in previous videos, some of my subscribers expressed interest in my podcast style of video where I just have a time lapse going and then I just talk. So that's what's going to be going on today. I'm going to be mixing paints on camera, I'm going to be just sketching and chilling, and I'm going to be talking about some stuff. I don't really know what I'm talking about yet, we're just going to flow with it. As you can see, I start out with painting these like very blob-like trees. I wanted to get a sort of minimalistic effect with this sort of sketch. I wanted to try it out, like low detail, looks good from far away sort of thing. This was my first time actually mixing acrylic paints. Recently I've been trying out a lot of new things, and acrylic is one of them. Last time it was watercolor, but I kind of struggled with mixing the paints for this particular sketch because I almost got like a cyan sort of tinged green, and then I added in this red because I thought it would look good for some of the shadow. Let me know what you guys think. I thought it looked okay, but I didn't think it added very much depth. And then I went ahead and made this nice kind of lightish green, but then I messed it up with some darks, and I used that to make the shadows, but then the shadows weren't really dark enough, so I had to go in there and fix them again. I'm making notes here on what I could do to improve. This is something that I would encourage all of you to do as well in your sketchbooks. Draw something and then take notes about what you can improve on it and point out specific things, because when you just think about it in your head, it becomes a passing thought, but when you write it down, you etch it into your mind in a way. Here I am starting with the pine tree now. The pine tree was, I usually draw pine trees pretty easily. Watercolor pine trees are my go-to thing if I'm trying to fill pages in a sketchbook. With acrylic it was a little harder though, because the way that the paint layered almost made it so that certain parts of it looked washed out, and I tried to fix that here with this kind of contrasty black, but I ended up putting it in too many places. And then I tried to fix it by splotching it with this kind of reddish green, which only made it look more splotchy. It was difficult to navigate that because I was trying to figure out how to add highlights and contrast and make one side of the tree look darker than the other, while at the same time not making it look like a cone or making it look flat. But I think it ended up okay. I'd also like to comment on practice like this. I feel intentional practice of going out of your way to practice things that you know you want to do in a larger project is important to do before that larger project, because it helps you learn where you make mistakes, and it helps you learn about what you can improve on, because if you don't make a mistake, you don't know you can improve upon it. So when you're doing your own sketches, I would encourage you also to not just take notes, but to go out of your way to mess up. And also find references that are good. I didn't know that I could do the tree skeleton first, but I saw someone else do it on another video, so I tried it out here, and this ended up being my best tree. I'm doing a sort of weeping willow thing that looks very similar to a cherry blossom tree when it's green. Are cherry blossom trees green? I don't know. It looks kind of similar to a cherry blossom. I'm showing some of my residents here on my floor because they were interested in what I was doing. I was doing this with my door open, mask on, because of COVID. I'm adding in some blue hues here, which I thought actually turned out pretty nicely. I'm using yellow ochre and I think cadmium blue with just titanium white, and it's making a pretty nice palette. On the next drawings though, I do change it up a little bit when I start drawing the mountains. Yeah, again, taking notes here, an important part of the process. You can definitely see the improvement over time though, with like the blobby trees to the willowy tree. Here I am starting with the first mountain. This mountain started out really nicely because it had some really nice tinges of yellow in it that looked super awesome. But towards the end I messed it up because I was getting lazy and I kind of frustrated, and we'll see what happens. But it started out looking really nice. Like this looks like a nice deserty mountain peak top. And I was doing some nice shading with some more saturated yellow for like some of the dark shadowy highlights, and then some white highlights with kind of like almost a brownish tan for the shadow. And then I added in this purple as well, which added a lot of depth because instead of just doing a black shadow, the somewhat warmer shadow of the purple really added onto it. This was a mistake here because this purple was about the same shade as the highlight yellow, and I was using it for the shadow, and it doesn't look super great in my opinion. It looks a little bit more abstract, I guess, but overall not in my vibe. This here I'm just adding in the green. Honestly, mixing paints is not my forte. I don't really mix paints a lot, so if you have any tips at all on mixing paints, please let me know. I know you're not supposed to use these like brown palettes, you're supposed to have like a wider gray palette, but I was really lazy and I had them laying in my drawer from when I made name tags for my residents, so yeah. I try to draw the same mountain again, just with a different palette. I think yellow ochre and then a green. I had a green tube of acrylic paint and I decided to just go with that because it was a nice tint, and I ended up drawing the grass first to outline the mountain peaks, which I think was a really good decision because it kind of gets me a frame to work with in which I can add shadows in later. And overall it kind of puts a base to the drawing that wasn't there when I did the mountain peaks first. I'm also doing a black and white base to make a gray, and then adding the yellow for the shadows this time. I don't like this as much as the tannish brown, but I think it adds just as much like depth to it. Again, if you have any tips, please let me know. I'm not an acrylic painter, I'm not a watercolor painter, I'm not really a painter of any sort. I'm just trying to learn right now because I don't really know that much. But if you want to give me tips, let me know. It's really hard to also make videos about this stuff when you're I've been super busy with RA training, and I've just been trying to like fit in like sketching days, and I really want to record them and make videos about them, but a lot of times I feel like there's no depth to them. And this was one of those videos that I recorded and I was like, what depth is there to this? The only goal is to learn. And the more I thought about it, I feel like that's what every video I make is kind of about in the end. It's about learning. And sure, this might not be as entertaining as the watercolor landscape video I made, and you can watch that right there in the corner. But it's still a video that I put time and effort into, and although it might not be as much time and effort, it's still like a document of my learning. And I think that's important to share with people and important to have on the internet, because I can always look back on it and be like, dang, I've come a long ways when I improve and see the progress I've made. We're nearing the end, so these are the sketches I've done, and I enjoyed making this video. I hope you come again, and yeah, thanks for watching. Thanks for watching me do some time-lapse stuff. I appreciate all of you. Thanks for coming. Yeah, thanks for watching the video. Hope you have a great day. Stay safe. Peace.